How you guys doing today? It's Anthony Ganji. Welcome to another episode of Chair Talk. Guys, we have one more area to discuss right now with the Celeste Rivas Hernandez and David case, and basically those fake IDs. How did she get those fake IDs? Did she get them on her own, or was she helped? And this matters because as the narrative starts to shift, they are trying to put a lot more blame on Celeste Rivas Hernandez. So when you saw the articles coming out about the fake IDs, the question that should have been asked, well, who got them for her? How'd she have the money to get them? How old was she when she got those? 14, 13, 12? And that matters. Now, even though if she did have them, responsibility is still on the adult to know. It's not going to be able to downplay that. But if he helped her get them, or whoever helped her get them, that's a concern, because that means someone knew she was underage and they facilitated a major crime. Whatever the end result of why those IDs were used, whoever helped her get those IDs, they're in some deep shit. Because again, even if she got them on her own, who gave her the money? How'd she get the money? So when the tragic story of Celeste Rivas Hernandez first broke, the headlines pointed directly at singer David. Her body discovered in the trunk of his Tesla. And that was just enough to set off a media firestorm. But as coverage evolved, the focus shifted from the artist himself to Celeste's own choices. TMZ and other outlets emphasized that she had been using multiple fake IDs, so convincing, in fact, that friends believed she was a 19-year-old and even a USC, University of Southern California student. The message was clear. Celeste deceived the world and perhaps even David. But this framing leaves out a crucial question. Where did those fake IDs come from? Teens can and do obtain fakes. They could do it online, through social apps, or from street-level suppliers. If Celeste acted alone, the narrative holds steady. She was a runaway, constructing a double life, sneaking away into adult spaces. If older peers or industry friends helped, it suggests a wider circle of enablers in LA's nightlife scene who looked the other way. But if evidence ever emerged that David himself played a role in getting or facilitating those IDs, the entire game changes. Suddenly, this isn't about Celeste deceiving an older man. It's about a powerful adult grooming a minor, enabling her to conceal her age and giving her the tools to live a lie. That shift transforms the story from bad optics to criminal liability. Legally, the stakes are enormous. In California, providing or facilitating a fake ID for a minor could trigger multiple state charges. Child endangerment carries up to 6 years in prison if a court finds the actions put her in danger of serious harm, which is what we mentioned above. Contributing to the delinquency of a minor, normally a misdemeanor with up to a year in jail, takes on new gravity if tied to nightlife entry, alcohol, or sexual access. Forgery-related statutes could add another 3 years if prosecutors argued he participated in producing or supplying false documents. And then there's the federal angle. If those IDs were ever used across state lines at airports, hotels, or industry events, the exposure escalates dramatically. And we saw this with the P. Diddy case, but prosecutors could look at the Mann Act, which punishes facilitating a minor's travel for a moral purpose with up to 10 years or far more if exploitation is proven. They could also consider aggravated identity fraud, which adds mandatory consecutive prison time for using false documents, and that's consecutive. That means it adds, it doesn't run concurrent. At the most severe end, if prosecutors link the IDs to access for sexual exploitation, it could rise to sex trafficking of a minor, one of the most serious crimes in the federal code, with penalties ranging from 15 years to life. All right, hold on 1 second. That's why the question of who provided the IDs matters so much. If Celeste obtained them alone, okay, there's part of the story of TMZ that remains within the framing, a troubled teen making reckless decisions. But again, an adult is still going to be held accountable, fake IDs or not. If peers helped, It opens questions about a culture that looked the other way. But if David is ever tied directly to those IDs, the narrative collapses around him. The public would no longer see a deceived artist, but a man who knowingly helped a child erase her age difference. And the law would no longer see a bad situation. It would see criminal facilitation, grooming, and possibly trafficking. So in the end, the public has been told again and again that Celeste lied about her age, but a few are asking the more dangerous question: who gave her the tools to lie so effectively? Fake IDs don't appear out of thin air. Someone made them, someone provided them. And if that someone was the man whose name is already linked to the tragedy, then both the legal and media narratives shift from sympathy to severe criminal accountability, possibly carrying decades or even life in prison. What is your thoughts, guys? How did she get those IDs? As always, guys, stay safe.